sound working, and let's go. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and well, I am the ChemKnits of this whole channel. And today we are going to have a lot of fun with a mystery surprise live stream where we are going to be creating colors that even I don't know what they're going to be, because we are going to let, I got shock in there. We are going to let some dice decide how many drops of different colors we should add to our mixture, and then dip dye yarn to see if we get just, something tonal, if we see color breaking, or what. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and I am really, really excited. I've done a variation of this in the past where we used Wilton icing colors and we mixed those together. I think that using the liquid drops we're going to use today, we'll be using the Wilton Color Right Performance Color System, which are some really concentrated food coloring drops. And it should go a little smoother because I'm not going to have to rewash my teaspoons constantly. But also, you guys have been asking for more color mixing, and so here's a really random, fun way to try it out. And I can show you behind my head. I've got some pots heating up so we can get ready to go. And woohoo! Welcome, everybody. I am so glad so many of you joined me. And the other thing that I did today is that many of you actually pre-ordered a slot. You guys picked the number and you picked the yarn base, although a couple of you picked a surprise, and I've got some nice things picked out for you. And so that adds another element of fun. So in general, if you want to see colors break, the breaking is more extreme the slower you can get the colors to absorb to yarn. So something like a non-superwash yarn, you might be able to really see the colors more dramatic because you might need to add more acid for those blues to bind. But you can still get some really nice breaking with some of the other colors. But yeah, I am excited, and I wish I had like a camera so you could see the dye. Welcome, welcome. I know we have a big Canadian group. So let me, I'm like wedged into this corner. If I go through the whole live stream without hitting my head, then I think that we will be able to count this as a massive win. So one of the nice things about the Wilton Color Right system, and I believe I should have a link to it in the video description. I am not 100% sure, but I should have an affiliate link to it. I am going to double check because now I am curious. Because it should be there. Yes, I have a link to it in the video description. I like that it comes with like some recipes and suggestions of color mixing. And so they really did create 8 colors, and then you can mix them together in any way that you want to get a variety of other colors. There are some things that I wish the system had. I wish that that maybe it had a more intense blue as well, because I think in potency, the red is, like the base red is way more potent than the blue, which is way more potent than the yellow. So I'm actually now on my second set, and I bought like a whole box of it. And the yellow is the one that I ran out of first, which I don't use a lot of yellow. I like green a lot. Actually, that's what it really could use. It could use a green. I think because of the yellow-blue discrepancy, that's why a lot of other standard food coloring kits might include a green in them. But I don't know for sure. Oh yes, I am wearing today a tie-dye shirt and then fake, like pretend knit leggings. So I thought that would be a fun thing for today. Sorry, trying to get the chalkboard back in view. Okay, but let me go through the different color choices for today. I don't actually have a hat, I have a bowl, but I'm planning, when I draw the colors, I'm planning to have the bowl on my head, so that way there is no bias. But this kit comes with 8 different colors. And of those colors, 5 of them are, I guess, not quite primary. Lagging. Is the audio lagging? Colors. And of those colors, it doesn't look like it's lagging for me, but there is a little bit of a delay between what is live and what I'm actually saying and doing. Okay, but anyway, the Colorite system has 8 colors in it. There is red, crimson, pink, black, brown, blue, yellow, and orange. And 5 of those I would refer to almost as food coloring primaries because they, no video. I can see the video coming through. Try refreshing your browser. So 5, oh gosh, I hope YouTube doesn't go down again. 5 of the colors I would consider primary-ish in the sense that they only contain one food coloring molecule. And these are the 5 most common ones that we see. So for example, base blue is just blue number 1. Base orange is just yellow number 6. And actually someone was asking me why when I was trying to break orange, I didn't just use orange food coloring, and it's because it might end up looking more yellow when it's more dilute, but it wouldn't be breaking because there's only one thing in there. There's base yellow, which is yellow number 5. Then there's base pink, which is red number 3. This is that fuchsia color that we see when we do broken violet. Thank you for joining. And then we've got base crimson, which is the red number 40. Now, in my sort of general experience, when these colors, first red number 3 will strike the yarn, then red 40, then the yellows in some order, and then blue. You don't always see breaking between the reds and the yellows or the yellows and the blue. I think it really depends on the proportions. So if you want to see breaking between red and yellow, like maybe with the creamy peach from Wilton, you need to have a lot more yellow than red present. And I think the same thing for a green. If you have a lot more blue than yellow, then you might see some of that breaking. All right, but so those are the primaries. And then there are 3 color blends. There is the base red, which actually is a mixture of 4 colors. It's red number 3, red number 40, yellow number 6, and yellow number 5. So we've got the pink, crimson, orange, and yellow mixed together to get the true red. And then we've got the base black, which is a combination of all 5 of the colors. In order that they're listed on the label, there's the blue number 1, red number 40, yellow number 6, red number 3, and yellow number 5. And then finally, the base brown, which is primarily crimson, red number 40, then yellow, which is yellow number 5, and then blue, which is blue number 1. And so these are the main components of the system. And I'm now folding them to place them in our bowl. I don't know why it keeps shifting me from top chat to live chat. If you guys have a question during the stream and I miss it, please, please, please let me know and like ask it again. So now we have those guys in the bowl. And now, so if I had a prediction, my prediction would be we'd see a lot of reddish and purplish things, just because like 5 of the 8 have reds in them. But I think that the colors are going to be really, really pretty. there are some other ideas of sort of wild cards that I thought that I could throw in. Actually, this is one that, if I have time, this is one that maybe I'll do at the very end. If the last slot hadn't sold, then I had a plan that was a little less random. And so these are things that potentially I could add in, and I want to know what you guys think. So the things that I thought that maybe I could add in was like a wild red. I'm not sure like if I'm going to continuously be drawing like pink and then crimson and then red. And so we could either replace them with this wild red card, or I could throw this in as well, which would limit the number of reds to 1 for that mixture. And then we would do a secondary dice roll to pick which red. So this is like the wild red option, to sort of like keep things from being too red heavy. And then the other wild card that I could potentially throw in is a wild shades of gray, where I could pull, I think that there's only 6 colors in the Americolor gray shades. And then from lightest to most intense, we could roll a 6-sided die and pick one of those as another option to add in. Is the black food coloring a true black or more of a gray color? Well, it's not a true black because it's still a mixture. I have dip dyed. It's pretty similar to a lot of the other black food colorings, even though the formulation is different. I did use it in the Breaking Black dye along. So anyway, there are these 2 wilds. I am going to go add some vinegar to the pots. And if you think that I should maybe add these wilds into the pot, let me know. So I'm going to hide my face, and I am going to go all the way around the island so I don't trip over anything. And we've got 4 pots. One of them is really just to keep water warm. When I'm dip dyeing, using this wider pot isn't my favorite because I can't get it as deep. But I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vinegar to each pot. So we're starting with 8 cups of water and 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. And then as needed, we will add additional vinegar into the pots. And I'm actually going to turn you down right now because you are boiling. And then we'll either recycle some of this water if we need to add more vinegar or start again. We'll see what is needed. But the proportion for everything is 8 cups of water and 1 tablespoon of vinegar for what we're starting with. And let's see. Add the wilds. Okay. I will add the wilds. And then, so here is the nifty shades of gray mixtures. And let me arrange them. So they're basically all gray, except one of them is taupe. So it's like a pale brown. But if the 50 Shades of Gray card is drawn, then I pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the way that would go. I likely missed. You guys are awesome. Yes, okay. So in theory, we could end up something which is pretty dark. I'm going to aim for, I think, at least first, and maybe we'll do like the first 3, and then we'll see from there. But I'm going to aim between maybe around 30 drops of food coloring for each one. But yes, I am going to add the wild cards, these 2 that I showed you in. just to give us a few more options, because I'd like there to be some variety. And all right, there is something that I've been I haven't used a lot of Americolor food coloring, just in the shades of gray one that I shared sort of recently. But they have a set that is 50 different colors of liquid food coloring. It's expensive, it's over $100. But I was thinking that maybe I should get that to play with sometime, because picking from 50 colors could be pretty fun. But, all right, so you'll know I pick a wild because it's going to be purple. But all right, we are now picking for number 1. And I am not, if it's yours, you can go ahead and say so in the chat. I'm not going to be saying names for privacy reasons. But let's pick, basically I'm going to keep picking colors until, oh wait, I think there was one thing about the wild red. So the wild red will negate, if I pull the wild red after I've already pulled reds, the previous reds will get X'd out, and then I will redo the wild red. And then if I draw a different one of the reds after, that doesn't count, and I'll redraw. So that's sort of the other rule for the wild red. All right, let's go. Making sure I'm only getting one. The first color, hey, it's the wild red. Okay, so now I have a 6-sided die, and unfortunately I don't have a good way to show you this. So you're going to have to trust me. Hopefully you can do that. But, all right, and we got 3. And so 3 is crimson. So I should... Okay, so crimson. And now we've got our 20-sided die, which I guess is also known as a D20 in some circles. Okay, let's see. Oh, and the color. Okay, guys, I need help. I don't know if it's a 6 or a 9. The dot is on the top. I don't know which direction the dot goes. So the one with the dot near the top is what I roll. And then the other number has like the dot. So I don't know if the dots are on the top. So it's either a 6 or a 9. Okay, maybe I'm going to do I'm going to have to make myself a note. I'm going to decide that this is 6. Wait. That is 6, and that this is 9. Okay. I made the executive decision that is 6. Oh wait, the dot's on the bottom? Okay, fine. Fine, it's a 9. You guys are the best. Can you tell that I've never used a D20 before, so the dot goes on the bottom? Okay, dots go on the bottom. You guys are seriously the best. Okay, so now if I pull, because we pulled the wild red, if I pull another red, it's not going to count. All right, what do we got here? Base black. Ooh. All right. Oh man, this is going to take a while. I'm going to mix a lot of colors. Base black, we got 3. Wild shades of gray. You're getting all the wilds. Okay. Let's see. We've got, all right, I rolled a 2. And the 2, the color for 2 is ash. is the second color. Let's set that aside. Okay, so we've got, this is complicated, ash, and let's roll our other die. Okay, it's just one. All right, so let's see if we can get some big numbers. Show me the money. Okay. Ah, okay, it's base pink, which I have to set aside because my wild red rules. We might have to reset some of these rules. All right, base blue. Base blue. Let's see what we got. Let's get a big number. Yes, this is the IKEA chalkboard. Aha! We got a big number. Well, and of course I'm not showing it right. Okay, we got 12. Okay, so we've got, so how many drops so far? We've got 25. Okay, I am going to stop. 25 drops seems like a good number. Seems like a very good number. The D20 is the drops of dye. That is right. Okay, so for number 1, we've got 9 drops of crimson, 3 of black, 1 of ash, and 12 of the base blue. Okay, number 2. Number 2 has a Wool of the Andes base. And oh yeah, I am a Knit Picks affiliate, but this is not sponsored in any kind of way. All of the materials I have purchased myself. But if you're interested in some Knit Picks Bare yarns, you can find my link in the video description. And actually, maybe I'll drop it into the chat as well, before I start rolling. And so then if you buy yarn to dye at home, then I get something too. Oops. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got. We got base red. And I'm going to roll the D20. Whoa! 19. This is going to be colorful. All right, let's see what we get. Ah, the wild red. Okay, I think that this is what I'm going to do. If I pull the wild red after I've already pulled one, I'm going to let that stand. But this now means that any other reds I pull have already been done. I think that that's the way I'm going to do it. Oh no! All right, I'm going to get the one that fell out. Ooh, base brown. And let's roll the die. Ah, no, it went in the bowl, so I can't see. So I have to move it to pick it up. Base brown, 3. This is going to be very, very red. Let's draw one more. Probably not going to make a huge difference unless it's like blue or black. It's pink, which because of the wild I have to set aside. Crimson, which because of the wild I need to set aside. All right, and we got yellow. 4. So then this one is also, this one's 26 total. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, I'm going to draw for number 3, which is the Stroll fingering weight yarn base. And I cannot see the chat. No. Wool of the Andes Superwash was not one that's listed. Number 2 is just straight Wool of the Andes. I think everything else is superwash except for the Wool of the Andes ones. I'm a little confused too. I'm basically picking colors and yeah. Let's see, and we'll see how I do when it comes time to mix. Okay. This is for number 3. We've got, ooh, wild shades of gray. Let's see which color it's gonna be. Color number 5, which I believe, uh-oh, where is it? It's right next to me. Okay, so this was 2. Color number 5 is Gunmetal. So it's a very gray color. I'm all like chalky. Oh wait, I did the wrong dye. Just one. All right, let's see what's next. Base black. Ooh. Come on, mixture. 17. Oh man. It's gonna be concentrated. All right, I'm gonna do one more. Come on, I got 2. I only want one of you. Huh. The last one is base brown. Uh-oh. 10. So that is 28. That's a lot of drops of black. Eek. All right. All right, so we've got our first 3. So the first 3 are, we've got the Swish DK, which is going to be 9 crimson, 1 ash, 3 black, and 12 blue. Then there's going to be the wool of the Andes worsted, which is 19 red, 3 brown, 4 yellow. Then there is the Stroll fingering weight yarn, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. We've got 1 gunmetal, 17 black, and 10 brown. Woohoo! Yes, well, technically I guess it's Ryder's chalkboard. He got it for his birthday. Okay, where are all the dye in the bowl? In the bowl here. All right, and I'm gonna go and go to the counter. But one other thing, so this live stream did sell out. So there's no more pre-orders for the yarn that I'm dyeing today, but there is still some ready to ship. There's some ready to ship mystery surprise yarn that has been dyed in a past ChemKnits video, an upcoming ChemKnits video. And so that is going to go poof at the end of the live stream. And right now that listing includes free domestic shipping within the US. And it's just a lot of fun. So hopefully I can have this so I can see myself. All right. I am so glad so many of you are joining in. Okay. Yes, this is fun. Okay. I'm like stuck, and I have not hit my head yet. Woo-hoo. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can shift the computer so I'll still be able to see the chat. Oh man, it only took us half an hour to get started. Okay, we got those set up. Let me wash my hands because I'm chalky. And so I've got the tripod right here. So I'm going to try to work in the front one. We'll figure this out a little bit as we go along. I'm going to pull out the first 2. So I pre-soak the yarn in just plain tap water. And so that is the Stroll, which is number 3. So I'm sending you aside. Here is the Swish, I think. Getting it all set up. Oh, should be careful about humming things that are probably licensed songs. Okay, there's the Swish DK. And here is the Wool of the Andes. So I started pre-soaking them in like the approximate order, okay, that we would be doing things. All right, I've got those about ready to dip. You are happy. You need more heat, and the back one needs more heat. Oh, awesome. I love that you guys are chatting as I am getting set up. All right, and then need gloves. I still can't get the gloves on my hand yet. And we are going to be mixing the colors into a clear cup with half a cup of water. So we should be able to see some of these colors. And then we will be adding the dye to the pot immediately before we start the dyeing. Okay. And if you guys love what I'm doing and want to just leave like a little sort of tip in the tip jar, there is a $sign at the bottom of the chat window, and that is the super chat. All right. And that also makes something like the chat, can make your comment like stay up for a while. But, all right, here we go. Hopefully that's a little hot. Wonder, I don't know how it, all right, I'm going to set it, can you see? No, you can't see over here. Where are my colors? Uh-oh, here we go. Okay, that is the base yellow that is basically like gone. Okay, so we need crimson, we need black, we need blue, and we need ash. Those are the 4 colors for this first one. Okay. All right, so for number 1, we've got 9 crimson. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Approximately. Everything's approximate. 3 black. 1, 2, 3. 1 ash, which ultimately is not a ton of color, but the ash has blue number 1, red 40, red 3, yellow 6, and yellow 5. All of these Americolor ones have a little bit of a mix of things. There is some titanium dioxide, which does rinse out, but it'll give it a little bit of a chalky color for now. And then 12 blue. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. And I want to get this off of the spot. But, oh, this is looking really, really blue right now. That's really lovely. If I had to guess, I would guess that we would see some breaking, but this looks very, almost like a navy blue right now. Which honestly is not what I would have guessed. I would have guessed that this would have been more red. So maybe the blue is more concentrated than the crimson. Interesting. Okay. And the first one is the Swish DK. Hello, my friend. Okay. I'm holding the yarn not at the tie. I'm holding the tie a little bit off to the side. So like the tie is down there. But I am trying to make sure I get a really good handle on it before we start. And here we go. Stir it up. Trying to get started pretty quickly before colors really start breaking out. Oh my gosh. This is so pretty. There's a lot of like red in here, so I'm afraid of going like too slow. Oh, I don't have my tongs. There's still a ton of color. Oh, this is gorgeous. I know, I'm pretty sure that you're watching right now. And this is going to be one that I'm going to need to repeat. Okay, I am going through and adding that last end. It's still going to be a bit of a darker blue. Holy mackerel. That is stunning. This was unbelievably stunning. We've got like almost a navy at the bottom. I have no idea if all of this color is going to absorb. There is a lot of color left. If needed, we will add, if needed, we can add more vinegar. But let me set a timer for about 5 minutes, and I'll check back in on it. I'm now rinsing out the cup. But don't worry, it's me. I'm saving these little bits of rinsed water. At least the like first dip. Okay, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. I'm going to turn that heat down, and now we're going to go over here, and I'm going to attempt to dip with my other hand. I know for the person that I think number one is going to, I was hoping that it wasn't going to be a green, just because I know that that is not her favorite color. Okay, so number 2, we need the red, we need brown, which I'm not sure I really use that brown much, and we need yellow. Okay. This one's going to have a very different feel to it. The red is really concentrated. This might bleed a lot. Okay, so 19 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see how viscous this is. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I am afraid of this amount of red. 3 drops of brown. 1, 2, 3. And 4 drops of yellow. Which, I mean, compared to that red, that yellow is not going to do too much. Oh, man. Okay, we've got it's basically red, but it's like an orange. I mean, it looks a little bit like blood. Okay, I'm setting this aside. Rinsing off my hands. I'm getting a paper towel, and I'm going to take a brief peek. Yeah, the blue came out like unbelievably beautiful. Okay. Let's add, I'm going a little bit over the cord. I'm going to try to dip, I think, with this hand And this is the wool of the Andes, which I do have on top. Okay. Okay, gonna add the color, stir you up, quickly rinse my hand back off because I think I got some red on it. And then we are gonna grab our wool. Oh no, oh no, there we go. And go. So you could see there's a little bit of a pink halo around the pot. Because sometimes those reds number 3s just really do start breaking. And with this concentration of acid, I expect the reds to start binding, but not a lot of the other colors will necessarily bind yet. What's in here? I forget what's in the brown. There's so much red in here. I'm like going nice and slow. Wow, it's getting more orange. That is cool. I'm like keeping an eye on the water that is coming out. I guess that might look orange now more than red. But I do want to be nice and slow. This is hot. Because I think that some of these yellow tones, like when I dip it in, you see it, but it's not necessarily staying because I think we might need more acid. But it looks like we've got almost like a red to orange type gradient, which is really, really pretty. Really, really beautiful. Okay, how hot are you? Not that hot. I am going to swap number 2 and the number 3 pot. So number 2 is back there. Let's check in. Let's get a clean spoon. Let's check in on our blue friend. Oh, that's clearing. That's a lot clearer than it was. Okay, I'm gonna just let you keep sitting and doing what you're doing. And I am gonna rinse out this red cup so we will be able to reuse it for phase 2. I did like one rinse and I'm saving it in a cup that's gonna be just like a random compilation of colors. Okay. I'm definitely missing a lot of comments. Burnt orange. Oh, I'm so glad that you're able to join. Yay! I love first-time viewers. Well, I love all my viewers. Who am I kidding? Okay, so number 3. And here is our... I hope that this is not gonna like melt the cup. Okay, gunmetal, which again is sort of a mixture of all of the colors. Oh, come on. We might end up with like a... Okay, 1 drop of gunmetal. Oh no, this is the one that I'm afraid of. Not the gunmetal, but this is the one that has like a ton of black in it. Oh no, oh no. So 1 gunmetal, 17 black, and then 10 brown. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh dear, this is gonna be... So, those of you that are getting this yarn, I've washed them on their own the first few times. There might be some bleeding despite my best efforts. And 10 brown. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think I've ever mixed black and brown together. At least not like food coloring wise. So I would say This looks kind of like a greenish black. It looks very Halloween-y, if that makes sense. It's rather than like being a blue tint black, I'm seeing some green to it. So I think that's actually kind of cool looking. I'm just nervous about how concentrated this one is. Oh, thanks for joining. This is going to be an extremely dark stain. I think black and brown are two of the most pigmented colors. So there's a chance we might want to like aim for like a total of 20 or something. But we will see. These dark colors are actually pretty fun. And given that, so for example, if I was using McCormick's food coloring, I tried, I think, using, I don't remember if it was 60 drops of red, and the color was still pink. But back here, we've definitely got like red and orange. So there's that to consider. Okay. We've got, this is our Halloween-y black and brown edition. And we've got our Stroll fingering weight sock yarn. Ooh. So right now I see the reds on the yarn, which is to be expected. But I'm seeing that it's going to look, I think, a lot like a broken black almost. I'm trying to go real slow because I could very well end up sort of going too fast and not getting much of a gradient at all. Although the water is starting to look less red. Aha! So are these colors. We're starting to see less red. Restraint can pull off. Eek! I need my tong friends to help. Oh, this is pretty. What is that color? Okay, we're definitely at this like green. And I'm curious if that's going to look brown or if it's going to stay looking like purplish. But this is beautiful. Definitely not reminiscent of the sort of like green, like scary green, but there's, I would say, turquoise left. It's a lot of color. We may or may not need to add more acid there. I'm going to turn down the heat there, rinse this off, and we're going to come and check and see how, actually I'll rinse out this cup first. Then I can reuse these 30 plastic cups. I actually save these disposable cups and use them again and again and again and again. Let's look at this number one. Okay, I see a hint of blue left, but not a lot. And back here, I'm still seeing a lot of orange. I am going to go ahead, reduce that heat more. I'm going to go ahead and add a second teaspoon of vinegar to these pots. Okay, and I'm going to mix this up with my handy dandy tongs. And by mix up, I mean grab all the yarn, pick it up. That's clearing really nicely. Oh, this color is gorgeous. Rinse off the tongs, even though that last bit of blue is not very much color, all things considered. Let's pick you up. There's still a lot of color in this one. Pick you up, put you down. And then this friend, we're going to pick you up. Okay, I'm just seeing some of like some other blues at the end. Put you down. Oh, these are gorgeous, you guys. Okay. And take off my gloves, put my, take a step back from the stove, but let's take a moment and look at the pretty. Whew. I know there's one more pot, but that's one that I don't like to use for dip dyeing as much. And, okay, I can make myself smaller until we're ready to do more colors. These are gorgeous, you guys. You have a question. You just got Wilton's Violet and you've been playing around with it, but you haven't had any breaking. I think that the technique that I'm doing today is the one where you are most likely to see breaking. So if you start with low acid and do some dip dyeing and sort of wait until you start to see a blue or a green, that is where I really see the breaking. Because with even the red over there, we got some like red and then it shifted to orange. So that's like a hue shift versus a saturation shift. Hand painting is also a great way to see breaking because as you apply the dye, like with the squirt bottle or paintbrush and squeeze it out, the reds will strike to the yarn first and then you can see some of the other colors spread out. So that is what I do with the violet. Yeah, these are really, really cool. And I'm sure that I've missed a lot of questions. So do you use 1 teaspoon of vinegar? I use 1 tablespoon of vinegar, not teaspoon. I use 1 tablespoon of vinegar initially to slow down, exactly. Starting with a lower acid concentration. So the reds will bind to the yarn at almost no acid concentrations, even on the non-superwash wool. So if you can slow down the rate that the blues and the yellows absorb, you can exaggerate it's like a chromatography. It's yarn chromatography, and so you can exaggerate the separation of it. So that is exactly why I do that. But I think that I'm going to take a brief break, go drink some water, and I am going to send you guys to a quick commercial break. Not everyone might not see it, but these ads are one of the ways that I support all of the stuff that I do around here. And now I'm vamping, waiting for my face to disappear on the, there we go. So I can press the insert button and then I can go get my water. So there's like, however long I was vamping, that's a bit of what the delay is. Whew! This is fun. And I'm good on time. Thank you guys so for joining me during the day. Whew. Okay. You're clearing out. You've still got some color. You're going to take some time. And I don't want to take the blue back into that one. Okay, you're starting to clear as well. We might end up needing to add a 1/3 teaspoon to that back one. But we will get there as needed. I'm a little concerned about the staining around the edges, but it is what it is. The other day I was doing some yarn dyeing and I definitely burnt my hands a little bit, which was a bit sad. But, oh, all right. Thank you guys for hanging in there through that. Oh no. Did I lose my... No, I did not lose my chat. Yes, for doing it in the daytime really helps a lot of our international friends. You never see ads. Yeah, so I think YouTube determines if your YouTube like subscription or red or whatever they call it these days, then you will definitely not see any ads. And if you're international, sometimes you do or don't see it. Really depends on their algorithms, who they will show an ad to or not. But I do believe it does insert them sometimes. But yes, so I guess well, if you guys aren't seeing the other ads, then I could do a little ChemKnits commercial. So guys, there are many, many ways that you can support ChemKnits. One of them is, I've mentioned the little super chat button that is right below the chat. Another way is by becoming a ChemKnits patron. There's a link in the iCard in the video description, and I just popped it into the chat. Patreon it's basically like you're subscribing, which hopefully you've already subscribed to the YouTube channel, but it's subscribing and getting some cool perks on a monthly basis. And it's fun. I do a poll each month, so you can vote what will the topic or a theme for the next early access video. And then the Dyepot PS series, patrons get to view it first, and it is very, very fun. Yes, I know many of you are patrons, and thank you so, so much. The biggest way that you can support all of this is by liking the videos, commenting, interacting, joining me, and also subscribing to the channel. And if you want to make sure you get notifications when live streams start or I release a new video, there's a little bell icon that you can toggle to turn on notifications. And then the other really fun way that you can participate is, is through the ChemKnits Creations Etsy store. There's even a listing in there to, oh no, so I sneak out. There's a listing in there to, so you can actually sponsor an episode of Dyepot Weekly. You'll get shout outs in the episode, and you will also get 100 grams, or if you get the add-on, 200 grams of yarn that I dye in the video, which is also pretty, pretty fun. But some other stuff that's in the shop. So there's the mystery surprise yarn that is going to go poof after the live stream. But in the recent, oh yeah, I should make myself a little bigger so you can see, because I arranged these oh so pretty. In the recent update, I added a lot of new yarn. The majority of these are from Dyepot Weekly 77 and 78. But if you're a patron, you might recognize two from the most recent Dyepot PS. We've got a bonus video that's coming up. This is, there's a roving video coming up, and this was used, the yarn was used in the roving video, but I thought that this was like a pretty little basket. I still have these downstairs from photographing, and they're going to go up into my shop bins as soon as I finish up today. All right, so that is my little like spiel thing. Oh goodness, you guys are amazing. Nancy, thank you so much. Uh-oh, message redacted. I don't know. Okay, I see a super chat. The name went away. I believe that I could say, Nancy, thank you for the super chat. That little blue box, that's a super chat. Thank you so much. If you know, you guys are awesome. You're dyeing your first time, woohoo! Yeah, acid dyes are a lot of fun. Oh, if you have an ad, oh, yes, I'm not going to go into my like ad blocker spiel, but the one thing I'll say is I think it's totally okay when you see an ad to a video ad to press the like skip to like go to the video when it says, but ads are a big way that a lot of people who create YouTube videos and stuff are able to keep creating content. So that's just my little like PSA out there. But yeah, but YouTube definitely does not show additional ads to everybody. I think if I were a larger channel that they might show more people, but all right, let's go and draw for our next three. Well, we're waiting for these to absorb color. All right, we are back to our handy dandy chalkboard. And if you are just joining in, I am not picking the colors today. Some of you watching the video picked the yarn bases. We're using Knit Picks Bare yarns, and predominantly Swish DK, Wool of the Andes Worsted, and Stroll Clean Green Weight yarn. But the next one is a surprise, and I picked a good one for you, I think. But I'm drawing colors out of a bowl hat, and then we're rolling dice to determine the color mixtures. So I think that it is just a lot of fun. And we've ended up with some stunning, stunning colors already. All right, our surprise yarn. Are you ready? Are you ready? The first surprise yarn, and there's another surprise at the end. That's going to be a different yarn base. The first surprise yarn is Felici Worsted. So like Stroll, this yarn is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. The Felici line is done at a different mill from Stroll. So versus being done in Peru, it's done in Italy. It has a little bit of a higher twist, and it comes in a worsted weight, which the Stroll comes in DK, which I actually don't think I've ever used. But and it's the merino is a higher quality merino than the one that's in Stroll. So number 4, this is your surprise. All right, but now let's see what the secondary surprise is. We can go for these colors. Yay! I did, Laurel, I did go through and see, because to get a sense of like some of the other yarn weights and stuff you liked, and that's why I decided to go with that one. Okay. Aha, we've got Wild Shades of Gray. Okay, so for this one, the rules are I'm first going to roll a 6-sided die, and it's number 2. I guess we're really liking that ash. And then based on the depth of shade, I am pulling the colors from that. I decided, because there were so few colors, I decided to add some of those Americolor grays. So, yeah, whenever there's like a surprise, like a mystery surprise yarn or anything, if you're someone that has ordered from me before, I always go back and look and see what you picked yourself, as I am then going and picking for you to make sure I'm not sending you something you already have, but also to get a sense of your preferences. So, all right, we've got, woohoo, the other wild. We've got wild red. So after this, any red colors that I draw are kind of nixed out. But I'm gonna roll the 6-sided die. Oh no! I will do that in a second. I have to roll the D20 to know how many drops of ash. 18. Which is funny because ash is not a very pigmented color. Okay, now we've got the wild red. Ah, no! Okay, so the 6-sided die, and the number is 6. And so 6 is the base red color. And I'm now rolling the D20 because I almost forgot that last time. And we've got 4. So we're at 22 drops. I'm going to go ahead and pick another one. So I think the ash is almost like a dilute black, if that makes sense. And we've got base orange. And, oh, here's the D20. I know, 18. Ah! And orange, we've got, I'm not even showing it right, but it's definitely a 3. Here we go, 3. And so that is 25. I'm aiming in general for between 20 to 30 drops of food coloring. If there are a lot of really concentrated colors, I might stop closer to the 20, and otherwise I might like go a little like further. But now I'm going to toss these colors back in, And we are going to draw from number 5. Oh no! And so I cannot see base crimson. All right. Roll the d20. Ooh, 11. Ooh, base black, which has a mixture of all of the 5 food coloring colors. Blue number 2 is a thing. It's not very widely used, though. Oh, God. You guys see? $18. So we've now got, why is it always the black ones that end up with the most? Oh no. All right, and then number 6, which is a Stroll fingering weight yarn. Oh no! I got colors. I got colors flying out. Oh no, oh no. What's funny is because there's a bit of a delay, I'm seeing you guys in the chat like when I'm moving on to the next thing, and that's really funny. I know, 18. Oh, all right. We've got wild red. Woohoo! So after this, any other, which actually, I guess maybe in one or something I pulled multiple reds in a row. But we're gonna roll the 6-sided die. It's number 3, so crimson. All right, now our D20. Huh. I wonder if there's like a trick to this. I feel like I'm getting a lot of, well, okay, maybe I rolled 18 twice and 11 twice. So maybe there's no conspiracy. We've got base blue. I wish there were multiple blues in it. That's the one thing. I need a deep bowl here. I almost grabbed a hat, but aha! 15. So what I'm expecting here, what I'm expecting in this one is that it's going to be purple, but I think it might be a little bit more like a grape Kool-Aid purple versus a Wilton's violet purple. So that's what I expect there. Dyeing with flying colors. Okay, you guys are all really, really amazing. And I'm having so much fun, and I really hope you guys are too. All right, let's go check on our other friends, and then we can start getting set up for round 2. And oh, I should start pre-soaking. Okay, I need to figure out my order of operations here. First, wash the chalk off my hands because let's be serious. And then I'm going to remove some of our friends. I'm going to turn off. Actually, I'm going to turn off all 3 of these pots right now. The last one is still on, but that is okay. I cannot see any comments right now. Okay, so here's our number 1, which is cleared, but I did add more vinegar to it. This stunning, and you know I'm going to be repeating this. This stunning, stunning color was 9 drops of crimson, 1 drop of ash, 3 black, and 12 blue. And there's a hint of red in it, but it's almost like a navy to a blue. It is absolutely spectacular. Setting it aside, and I realize I do need to make sure I can see what's going on. Okay, and then let's see, where's my spoon? Oh, we're basically clear there too. All right, I need, okay. Here's my a blast from the past. This is actually one of the reasons why I started ordering from Knit Picks. This one is not Knit Picks wool, but I was looking for a feltable wool that might come in a quantity smaller than 100 grams. But my first felted project ever, and oh dear, I definitely want to remove, I've got like plastic cups in the sink. Okay. I've got this like nice blue stain, which actually may not be, might just be a stain. A little bit of blue never hurt anybody. But yeah, I don't think that that's going to be coming off right now, but that's okay. Okay. The water back here, this water, oh, did I turn off? Okay, that started off and actually still looks pretty close to 8 cups of water plus 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And I am going to start heating some more back there. That is the smallest of the burners. Okay, and let's remove number 2. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, there's a tiny bit of color left in that pot, but honestly, I think that that's pretty darn good for how much red this had. So this color had 19 drops of red, which is super potent, 3 drops of brown and 4 drops of yellow. And later today, I will like swirl all these nicely and post a picture on Instagram, so that way you guys can see. Oh dear. And then the real thing is I'm trying to make sure, best I can, food coloring in general comes off pots. What on earth? That's, yeah, there's a little bit of like pink on these edges that I'm doing my best to get off, but some of it might have to remain for now. And I'm going to fill you back up. I'm doing a little dance that no one can see because I'm live, but I'm off camera. Yes, I am a little bit of a ham. Oh dear. I almost dropped the Pyrex. That would have been bad. That would have been very bad. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh. Please tell me. 8. Ew, that's where 9 is. Okay. I've got these, I love these pasta bowls. I still have the blank from last night. I haven't opened it yet, but I absolutely love these things. Okay. This is our yarn number 3, which at first I thought it was going to be very like Halloween-y from the way that the colors looked, but we've got a nice, it's not quite even a brown. It's like a deep purple, reddish purple to this teal. Maybe there's a hint of brown in there, but I would not call it Halloween. I'd call it magic. And that one was 1 drop of gunmetal, 16 drops of black, and 10 drops of brown. So it was another very pigmented friend. And again, I do wish that I could easily, oh goodness. Hey guys, can you tell me, did I add vinegar to that back one yet? Oh crap. I was like seconds away from spilling water all over my counter. That was smart. Okay, I know I have not added any color to this front one yet, but I know that those two both have vinegar. What I don't know is about that back one. So what was I? Oh, I see some. Okay, no vinegar in the back pot. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Got one in the back. It's getting hot in here, so turn up the stove. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add more water. And then I'm gonna come sit down while I wait for the pot to heat up. Okay. Now everybody's got vinegar. So I saw a question about greens and teals, and I'm going to try to go back up in the chat and find that. So I might try adding turquoise to my mix. I would love to. There is unfortunately not a base turquoise. And so that is one of the reasons I'm sort of limited. Basically, today I am using the Wilton Colorite system, which comes with eight colors of food coloring. But I did spike the system. I decided to add these Americolor shades of gray, which are functionally all like black, just more dilute. And then there's taupe in here as well. So that I did that because otherwise there's basically one blue and then a lot of yellow and red. And so this was like a wild card, and I'll pick one of those as another way to add some cooler tones in it, because I was actually very afraid that everything that we did was going to end up very red. But in these next three, this one, I'm not sure if it's going to be purpley or if the red and orange will dominate the ash in number 4. I'm not sure if you guys can even read it. Number 5 has crimson and black. I'm really excited to see how that one's going to look. Probably a lot like a broken black, but probably redder. Cool. And then number 6, I'm expecting a purple because it's crimson and blue. Yeah, I nearly spilled water all over my counter. Yes, I have like a long gooseneck faucet, and I was filling the pot on the counter versus in the sink because that's a real smart move. And it got to like the very, very tip. Woo! Wait, what are pasta colors? I don't know what pasta colors are. Apart from today, I use a lot of Wilton icing colors. That's how I got started. When I first got the Colorite system, I was like a little skeptical about it, and I was a little bummed because I'm like, there's no purple, there's no green. But really what's nice about it is that there are 5 colors in here that are just individual food coloring molecules. So there's a single red number 3, a single red 40, so that's the pink and the crimson, the blue 1, which is just blue, the yellow 5, and then the yellow 6. And one of those is yellow and one is orange. I always forget which one's which. And so therefore, when it comes to color mixing, you're starting off better than a set of just like red, yellow, green, and blue. You can create more things, but there are 3 reds in the system. There's the pink, there's the crimson, and then there's the red. So, oh, it's not even the tail end. We're smack in the middle. I've got 9 to dye, and we've finished 3, and I'm waiting on my pots. And because I'm a little lazy, they're starting to get hot, but I'm just peeking down here. But I have, I've been drawing the colors in stages. Paste colors, okay. Sorry, okay, yeah, no, the paste colors, I love using those. I think they're a little harder to mix because when you're measuring out like a 1/4 teaspoon of one of the colors, there is some variability in there. So while you can mix things fairly consistently, it can be a little bit hard to get the exact same thing. Whereas using a drop, I think that it's a little easier to be consistent. Yes. Oh, I understand about translation and like stuff being hard. Plus. Okay. I think that while we're waiting for things to heat up, I'm going to take a brief off-camera break. I might try inserting an ad again. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone really saw it last time, but I'm going to try to do that. And just sit for a moment and stretch out. Oh, and wait for things to heat up. Four is the surprise. 5 is the swish. And 6 is the stroll. Oh no! I forgot to press the button. Sorry, guys. Sorry. While that is going on, let me get these yarns right. Oh, crud. I need a pre-soaked last 3. Good thing I'm taking a little break. Anyone wonders where I am, just let them know. Alright, sorry guys. Apparently things are getting too hot. So my vent fan auto turned on. So I think things are getting rather hot in here. So apologies about that. That is a little bit hilarious, a little bit frightening. Kind of scared me. I feel like this might have happened last time. So like, Rebecca, what are you doing having your stove on for hours? Definitely. Okay, that is actually getting rather hot. I'm going to turn down. And that one's ready. Yep, I can't turn it off, guys. Okay. In case you were wondering, the stove just decided that it's really hot in here, so I turned on the vent fan. I am very, very sorry. It's probably drowning me out a little bit. Hopefully it'll turn off a little bit. Maybe it'll cut me down. Thanks for joining. I know it's really, really late on the other side of the world. Oh, yeah, that's mean, I definitely don't smell anything burning or anything remotely. Oh no! Everything's good. I'm just throwing stuff on the ground. I'm going to want to put you guys some quick pads. Quick pads. 3, 1 and 2 over here. Needs more space. So one fun part of trivia, well, I'm not sure how like fun or weird or whatever this is, but the Felici Worsted comes with 3 ties. The Felici fingering variant comes with 1. So take that for what you will. How did you guys get links together? Yay! Ooh, Melissa, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm about getting ready to start mixing colors again, but my hands are still pretty wet. So that is the thing keeping me from going full on, because I want to get the gloves on before I start doing the drops of color. Okay. Turn that up a little bit. And the ties, well, if the ties were yardage based, then the fingering weight should have the ties, because there's way more yardage in the fingering than the worsted. But I was like, oh, because I want to make sure I can tell the Felici worsted apart from all the other yarns that I'm doing. I'm going to go add another tie, because it probably only has 1, and it had 3. So, oh. Sorry about, I'm sure that was really loud, because the microphone is on the camera, and it's like right, oh, I mean right there. Okay, let's mix number 4. So we've got ash. We're going to have 18 of ash. I'm just pulling the colors. We've got 4 red and 3 orange. Okay. Now, cup, please do not melt. I'm sure that that center thing is quite hot right now. Okay, so 18 ash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's milky white. That's not a dye as much as it is just the titanium dioxide. Uh-oh. Okay. Might be running out of red. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got 3 orange. Okay. And then I gotta go wash my hands. And I'm not sure where this little accenty thing is coming from. Apologies. All right, and I've got my little spoon. And so let's stir this up and see. Ah. So it looks like a milky orange right now, but that's because of the titanium dioxide in here. So let's pour it in. But I guess it shows relatively what colors are the most concentrated. Okay, and now let's dip dye. I was mixing the colors in half a cup of water before adding it into our dye pot. So I still see some orange behind. It's looking very pink right now. I mean, the runoff looks orangey. Color, you're making it hard for me to tell. We might just get this cool pinky gradient thing because there's not very much color left. So I am going to go in and add tongs. Add that tip. So wow, we might have, I can't tell if that's going to be some white at that end. But well, that's not orange like at all. It's not really purple either. But it's really, really pretty. Definitely looks like we're sitting in a milk bath though. And that is that titanium dioxide, which does just rinse out, so it's not a concern. But I am going to turn that heat down. It's going to be hard, like with the spoon, to know when the color is exhausted, but I have a feeling, given how like red based this is, that a lot of it has exhausted pretty early on. And I'm collecting what I rinsed out of the cups. All right, and now we can go on to number 5 in this guy right here. It's like a pumpkin. So it definitely looks way more pink than orange. On your screen, it's looking a lot more orange. I'm seeing more pink. So, all right, let's... Oh, yeah, the paper towel, that's actually a good idea. Because normally I like the spoon, because it tells, like, the spoon, because it tells me if there's a hint of color. But actually, I mean, right now, with the paper towel, it looks like almost nothing. But the paper towel probably will help to tell the difference with, like, all that white. But I'm definitely going to need to swap out that water. Okay, 5 is the Swish DK. Make sure I grab the Swish and not the Stroll. Okay. And this time, I've got it like hanging over my arm. Okay, so this time we've got a mixture of crimson and black. The first ingredient of black is blue. So, all right, we've got, oh, I should start with the crimson though. So we've got 11 drops of crimson and 18 drops of black. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 drops of crimson. And 18 of black. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Whoa, tongs, I need you. All right. Let's see. So one of the last ones that we did looked like it had a green tinge. This is just looking This is looking quite black, to be honest. I know that it is not likely to actually be black, but we will see. Now you're getting hungry. Oh yeah, it does like look like some chowder. I will say, like, some of these projects make me think, like, gee, what do my insides look like after I ate that birthday cake that I made? Got a cord in the way. Okay, and I'm mixing all the colors in half a cup of water. We got our lovely purple. If anything, this one might just see less breaking. Trying to go slow. Yeah, the runoff is looking blackish. It's very pretty. It's like a nice maroon right now. Whew, that is really, really pretty. Trying to like go slow. So a lot of times when I'm breaking stuff, I sort of wait until I start to see a different color along the tip. But the other way that you can check is by looking at the runoff and seeing if the runoff is starting to look like a different color. And it's starting to look blue-ish, but there's absolutely still some red in there. We're getting more blue though. I think. Okay, I'm going to add the tip. There still might be some purple that we get in there. There might not be very much blue, but there's so much black and red that I think that that is going to be nice. And that's the front. I'm going to turn the heat down a moment. Okay. And actually the residual in here looks sort of like maroonish. Our mixture so far is looking kind of purpley. Okay. Now I wonder if, oh, where is my glove? Okay, I am going to attempt, without hurting myself, to swap our positions. There we go. Turn down the heat on the back, turn up the heat on the front. There we go. What's kind of cool is you can sort of see this like bead up a little bit. I'm not sure if you can tell. Ooh, there's definitely like some orange hues binding. This is cool. I'm curious what it'll look like once I rinse out all of that white. But, okay, the problem, I guess I want to keep the gloves on for a little bit. The problem is I know my hands are sweating so much under the gloves that, that's just something to think about. I wonder what the titanium dioxide does. So my belief, because these colors are all like pale grays and stuff, and Americolor does also have a white food coloring. I think that it is there to help try to tone down the yellow in a buttercream, to make the base, instead of like a yellow gray, to try to make it be a cooler tone, is what I think it does. Does Jacquard Jet Black stay black, or does it break like food coloring? Jacquard Jet Black, I think, can break a little bit. If I speckle with it, I see some black specks, but it does have some other colors in the powder mixture, because I also ended up with some yellow speckles from the black. So there are acid dye colors that break. For one that is good for speckles, I don't have a good recommendation at the moment, but I know that there are other indie dyers that would happily give like a good recommendation for a non-breaking black for speckling. Yes, it's like a pink and orange. It's really cool. late to the show, what is in the front pot? Okay, so this mixture right here is Knit Picks Felici Worsted, the Bare Felici Worsted, in a mixture of 18 drops of the Americolor Ash, 4 drops of red, and 3 drops of orange. And then in this back pot, we've got 11 drops of crimson, 18 drops of black. And we're about to get started in that one in a second. But welcome. And you're not that late. We're just only midway through the show. And I'm going to drink a little more water. All right. The next one, I'm expecting something purpley because we're going to be mixing blue and red. But all these colors are coming out really, really great. And so one of the fun things, and the reason why I like doing this, is that you can mix colors together randomly and not necessarily get brown. Now, brown is my name. I like the color brown. Many people really like the color brown. There's nothing wrong with it. But you can mix, like, you can mix an even, and maybe even in equal proportions, the yellow, blue, and red. And you're going to get something that looks pretty red. You're not going to, because they're not like equally weighted. Like the blue is way more potent than the yellow, and the red is way more potent than the blue, at least in this mixture. Okay, so this is number 6. And we're going to do 11 drops of crimson. $11 drops of crimson, and then 15 drops of blue. So this is just red number 40 and blue number 1. Those are the only 2 friends in this cup. And I shouldn't be leaving it there. And I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of blue in this color. This actually looks pretty similar. Actually, this is very similar to the mixture from number 1. It's just got a couple fewer things in it. But visually, it's looking really, really similar right now. Which is cool because I really, really liked that one. But because number 1 had 9 crimson, 12 blue, 3 black, and 1 ash. And this one is 11 crimson and 15 blue. So I think it's going to be beautiful. Trying to make sure I have the yarn well ordered, and I'm not sure that I do. Don't want you to be tangly. Okay. Well ordered yarn. Turn down the heat a bit. Okay. I'm going to come under the cord for now. Dump the color in. This is a lot of color, guys. Stir it up. All of the dye pots have started with 8 cups of vinegar, 8 cups of water, and 1 tablespoon of vinegar. You can even see like the blues start to come up, but we've definitely got some purple in there. So of the reds, red number 3 absorbs first, and then the red number 40. And man, I have such a love for red number 3 that I don't think I give red number 40 it's like true. Like, I think I take it for granted a little bit. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. think I might be, yeah, going in for the shimmy. So when I add the last tip, the reason why I shimmy it around a little bit is to try to avoid getting white. Because sometimes if the colors aren't that saturated, you can be almost out of color by the time you get to that end. So like with my favorite, uh-oh, that's a little too much water in here. Go on. My favorite Wilton's violet concentration, the blues will start striking pretty darn quickly. So that is just a little tip. But before I check in on, I guess, number 4 and 5, I want to give a little peek at, here's the color of our mixture right now. It's we've got a lot of blue and a lot of red. So that's like the mixture of everything left behind. In terms of food coloring, wearing gloves isn't necessarily necessary, but I like wearing gloves when I'm doing a lot of stuff with food coloring because, especially these bottles, because they do stain very, very badly. And your skin is made of protein, just like yarn. So let's see. Were we clear? Oh, that is beautiful, but I can't tell. There might be a hint more color in there. It's like dark like my soul. Not that my soul is dark. My soul is actually like a happy rainbow. That one's looking pretty good too. I know that this last one definitely has, yeah, look at all that blue. I'm going to need to add more vinegar to that one. But the back one, what was that? The back one, so number 5 was crimson and black. And that is looking rather clear. I'll leave it in just a little longer, but it's looking pretty darn good. Making sure heat is on low everywhere. Okay, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. And I'm going to come around, sit down, check out the chat, and see what's going on over there. Because my eyes are not horrible, but are not good enough for me to really see the chat while I am sitting up there. So, hi! Yeah, that blue is great. Yeah, brown. Hey, brown's a great color, but I know that a lot of times when mixing colors, people are concerned about ending up with mud. Because if you're going for mud, then that's great. But actually, like, so if you look at the colors that they provide, on one side I don't see any, like, okay, I guess there's a sand color, so that's technically brown. Then on the other side, there is another sand color, and then there is a brown and a brown. Okay, they are not very inventive with their color names. But I like that there are some guidelines of recipes. But these recipes also help you really understand something about the proportions. So, for example, 2 of the green mixtures that they recommend are, one is 25 drops of yellow, 3 drops of blue, and then the other one is 16 drops of yellow, 2 drops of blue. So that says something about the proportion. Really only is one teal on here. Oh no, there's another one. So, yeah, that blue is awesome. Oh yes, I want my soul's a rainbow as well as just black and gray. I am going to info and settings. Well, oh no, maybe I don't want to do that. Nope. Okay. Back to the live control room. Nope, I hopefully did not mess this up. If I messed it up, I am very, very sorry. Okay, so I want to add I think I've got a link over here for, shoot. Oh, it's called Nifty. Nope, Nifty Shades of Gray. There we go. I'm going to get a linky. Yes, I know that I bought this item already. I also have an affiliate account with Amazon, but Amazon definitely does not do anything with me. It is just, I get some Amazon dollars when. Okay, so I'm adding a link. Okay, I've added a link to the video description, an affiliate link to that gray food coloring. So that way, if you want to pick some up, then you can. Yeah. But yeah, this is fun. This is really fun. But I want to know, do you guys think that I should get the Americolor 50 Shades kit? And then we can do something a little more classic. The gray colors, they might sell the gray colors individually. I bought them as this set of 6 colors, but I'm not sure if the colors are sold individually. Actually, I was initially disappointed because I thought this included black, and it didn't. So I have the Americolor black, but I haven't opened that yet. But I would love to know if you guys would like me to try this again sometime, starting with 50 food coloring shades. Maybe I would literally grab the bottles out of a bucket and then we could mix. Ooh, that would be an idea. We could roll a die and then either do like, choose like 1, 2, or 3 colors and then do equal parts of each of those. And since it's a mix of 50 colors, then there's a lot of greens, a lot of purples, reds, more blues, and stuff in there. It is expensive. So that's the thing that's holding me back, because like oh shoot, I have to get up. The Colorite system is like $20. It's not bad, but it's like $110 for the Americolor 50 Shades set, and so I'm a little intimidated by that. And I mean, it's not quite enough money that I would like need to do a Kickstarter or something, but it's an investment. Especially since I wouldn't necessarily be using it for so many different things. So, all right, let's take out, oh, I'm supposed to be checking on the colors. I'm assuming that this one is good. I'm assuming that that one's pretty good. And this is starting to clear. I'm going to go ahead and add another tablespoon of vinegar to this friend, just to help things along. If it were wool of the Andes, instead of being, what is this one, Stroll? If this were wool of the Andes, then I would definitely need that 2nd tablespoon of vinegar. But the Stroll can sort of handle it just fine. Okay. And now, let's pull out. Okay, so I'm going to turn that front off, and I'm going to turn that rear off. There might be a hint of color left in here. So the nice thing about doing it this way is I don't see any like titanium dioxide globbies. So this color, and I'm sorry guys, I can't see what the camera's doing, so hopefully I'm going to stay in frame. This color is number 4. This was 18 drops of ash, 4 drops of red, and 3 drops of orange. And in the replay, I'm going to edit the video description to have all of these mixtures. So that way you can see all of it in that description. But here is our pretty. Actually, you're not even that hot anymore. I am going to rinse off the tongs and actually see how hot you are. Not very. Okay. Let's grab. Oh, this one is stunning. Absolutely stunning. So we've got, this is the 18 drops of black, 11 drops of crimson. And I see like a maroon and then like a deep blue. It's not quite purple, but it's not quite blue. It is beautiful though. And this one is number 5. And number 6 still needs more time, which is fine. But what I'm going to do now is, I believe, spoon. That water is clear, or so close to clear that I am fine with it. So I am going to keep that. This friend, I'm going to move back here. Have the heat on low. And then definitely rinsing out. This hot. And then this color, turn off that rear for a minute. This color is just the same. It's already got the vinegar. Hopefully I don't just spill this everywhere. But I'm using that pot to just basically keep things hot. I'm going to add some more water in here. Heat up the rear. Turning the heat back on in that front and center guy. I'm going to add a tablespoon of vinegar to that guy. All right, so we're getting all set up for round 3. Whew. Okay. All right, friends. Ugh. Coming back down, and fixing my, I really do need to get that other webcam. Okay, so let's see. It's easier to get brown icing by adding cocoa powder. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That does. Do you think a Wilton metallic powder color would have any effect? Likely it would have some effect. I have a Dyepot Weekly episode where I took the Color Mist Silver spray and it got kind of a really cool lavender. The metallic all rinsed out, but there was some underlying food coloring. So I would expect some of the metallic powders likely have some food coloring in them as well. I would just check to see on the ingredients list, and then you'll get some sense of what colors could be there. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys enjoy watching these mysteries. It is beyond fun for me to do, and I really, really appreciate you guys hanging in there for it. Oh yeah, definitely for the Color Right system. If you don't want to get it on Amazon, and sometimes it is on sale on Amazon, but getting like a 40 or 50% off coupon to a craft store is a good way to get this. You can buy these colors individually. I think it's maybe the full retail is $25 for the whole set, and each individual one might be $5. But there's 8 in here, so like it would be like $40 separately or something. So that's why I bought another one of these. Yeah, no, I'll figure something out. It might not be. Maybe that's what I should do for ChemKnits' birthday. So ChemKnits is turning 10 right before New Year's. Maybe that's going to be a fun way to celebrate, to play with 50 colors. I'll have to give this some thought. Unfortunately, at that period of time, we're going to have a bunch of house guests. So instead of a family of 4, we're going to be a family of 12. And now these are my best friends and their kids, and so it's going to be wonderful. But a little nerve-wracking because it'll be a full house. So I won't be able to do live streams likely during that time, just for logistics reasons, because we're going to have too many people around. But I will. But after like the kids start school again in January, then maybe yeah. So the celebration might have to be like in 2019, or like, I mean I don't think I'm going to do a live stream on Christmas. I guess I think everyone might be busy. Technically, I will be busy too. I am Jewish, but my in-laws and husband are not, and so then we celebrate Christmas with his family, and it's a lot of fun. But during the Hanukkah special, I will be sharing some stuff of like our holiday decorations and my family's holiday traditions. So I think that will be fun. Oh yeah, the colorite system at the grocery store. That is cool. I'm now curious. I think I bought it because Amazon had like a huge sale. Okay, the Wilton colorite system is on sale on Amazon right now. It is $17.65, at least in US dollars. So I don't know about if you're on like the Canadian or European Amazons or anything. Is there an Amazon Australia? I don't really know. But it is 30% off right now if you wanted to get it on Amazon. My link is in the description. My commission is not huge. I'm in like the lowest tier. But yeah, if you want to pick some up, this is like a whole little advertisement for it. And I guess I can give another like spiel that I am using the Knit Picks Bear yarns today. And I just dropped an affiliate link into the chat. I am a Knit Picks affiliate. I have been using their yarns for almost the whole time ChemKnits has existed, but I only became an affiliate a year ago, which makes me sad because I've probably referred a lot of other sales in the years prior to that. But I do get a commission. I buy all the product myself though. So if you want to buy some materials to repeat some of these experiments at home, if you use my links, and that helps me buy more stuff so I can do fun stuff like this. You still vote for the ChemKnits husband to do a Dyepot? Yeah. There's something that he wants to do that is sort of like combining our fields. Dyeing yarn is now my field. I love that. So not my biochemistry field, but yeah, I'm working on getting him into a video. So yes, I should have some. Oh man. Yeah, I have some friends that might definitely want to I'll have to ask them. It's not. We are having some of our friends' kids come and stay with us for a weekend, and I will be dyeing yarn with the kids, but not filming it because these children don't. They don't share their pictures online or anything, and so I'm careful to not share pictures of other children without permission. But it's going to be fun, and I'll share pictures of the yarn that we dye. Have I thought about the blue from yesterday's live stream? I absolutely have. I still have all the leftover colors saved, and maybe this weekend I'll be able to do something else and add some blue to it. I definitely want to do that. Well, we'll also see how today goes and how late this goes. Am I able to see who buys stuff through my affiliate link? No, I don't get any information with Knit Picks and with Amazon about the customer. I just see like hey, this item sold. Or like, I see like an item SKU. So I know, like for example, on the link I shared, this one I have like a little tracking number that lets me know that this is the link I was sharing in today's live stream. So I can tell like what links that I've shared that people click on, if that makes sense. But I don't get any information about the person. But sometimes but yeah, I do. Sometimes I can tell because someone's like, hey, I just bought something, and I can go look and it's like, woohoo! But if any of the rest of you guys are bloggers or anything and ever want to chat about some of these affiliate relationships, I am happy to do that over private message and whatnot. So, whew. Okay, we're getting hot over there and hot over here, and I got to pull some colors. If you are just tuning in, today we are doing mystery combinations of colors. And they are a surprise and mystery to me too, because we are drawing them randomly from a hat and then using some dice to determine the proportions of the colors. The systems we're using today are the Wilton Colorite system. And since it's only 8 colors, I wanted to add something else that had some blue tones into the mix. We are also using the Americolor Nifty Shades of Gray. But this is a wild card, so there would only be one of the grays going in, since all of the grays are basically, I think, the same mixture, just at different dilutions. So that is what is there. And yes, okay. And I think I forget what video came out this morning, a new episode of Dyepot Weekly or something came out this morning. So, now we're doing number 7, which is the Wool of the Andes base. Okay, we got a wild. All right, wild red. And the rules of wild red means that I'm going to roll to pick which of the red shades to use. If I draw any other reds out of the bowl, we're not using multiples. Which actually, I guess it's really only happened at one other time, and I've pulled the wild red. But I was concerned about getting like everything super red based. So I'm going to roll a 6-sided die first, and it is 3, crimson. Crimson is like the most popular color today, I think. Okay, let's see how many drops with our D20 die. Woohoo! 14. So, are these only used for Dungeons and Dragons, or are they used for anything else too? All right, we've got base pink. Nope. Can't use you because you're one of the reds. Base orange. Okay. And my goal is to end up between like 20 and 30 drops of food coloring. 12. Interesting. I wonder which is more concentrated. Huh. Cool. So that's about 26. I wonder how similar this is going to look to the red, brown, and yellow. But the red is way more concentrated than the crimson, I think. So there is that. All right. Number 8. Oh, no. I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat. Alpaca, so how does alpaca dye? Alpaca dyes, well, it dyes a bit slower than non-superwash wool, so you need a little more time and acid. And I'm wondering if you mean Angora. I don't have a firm answer on Angora. I've never done 100%. Oh yes, there are some very, very yummy lens. Ada, does this mean you might start dyeing yarn? Okay, any RPG game? Cool. Alright, we've got base black. I like black. And we've got, okay, because you guys told me that the dot goes at the bottom, so it's 9. We got base blue. Woohoo. 10. 10. Oh no, I'm now like pulling for yellow or orange is what I would love to pull out right now. Wild red! Okay. Watch, it's going to be like 10, and we'll have another one that's going to be like as deep and black as a stove. 2. Pink! Yay! I feel like pink has been undervalued tonight. I don't know if I've done just pink. Oh my god. All right. Woo! We got 12 drops of pink. So that's 31. Oh, Laura, thank you so much for that super chat. Laura says, I absolutely love this mystery dyes. So yes, I'll support your stuff. Thank you. If some of you are wondering what this beautiful orange box is that just popped up, it's a super chat. There's a little $ sign at the bottom of the screen, and it's like a tip jar. I definitely think I have a dye in the bowl because I'm hearing it smash around. Okay, we're pulling for number 9, and oh yeah, number 9 is a surprise. What is the surprise? Well, I picked Hawthorne Fingering, which is one of my new favorites to dye. It is 80% superwash wool, 20% polyamide. It's a superwash fine Highland wool, and it's got a high twist. It absorbs color beautifully and gives this really lovely, like it glazes beautifully. It's an awesome yarn to dye. Milk cotton. So if it's milk cotton, is it like a milk cotton blend? Because milk protein is, and I'd love to know, PM me on Facebook and tell me where you found it, because I've been having trouble finding like a milk protein yarn. Okay, the first color, base black. Got the D20. Black has been pretty popular. Huh. And I'm rolling a lot of 12s right now. I feel like this is going to be like a navy blue and orange. Oh, I rolled the die and I didn't even have a color. Yeah, so when I do these listings and you get to pick a base, I can't really advertise like on Etsy the names. Like I think the names are probably all trademark of the Knit Picks bases. But if you follow me enough, you can probably figure out what things are. Felici is absolutely available as a fingering yarn. It's not, I think sometimes it sells out, but, okay, this is the one that my hand is on. Ooh, shades of gray, woo-hoo. Yeah, Felici fingering is also delightful to dye. I think I've only used it once on the channel in the Breaking Great Kool-Aid video. Oh, on AliExpress. Ooh, interesting. Actually, one of my favorite yarns to dye is Galileo, which is 50% viscose from bamboo, 50% merino, and it's gorgeous, even with 50. Whoa. Okay, I did this wrong. I first need to figure out the gray. 3. We have not done that one yet. 1, 2, 3. And this color is Stone. Stone. Yes, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited that oh my god! 18. Yeah, I think there's like a theme with this randomness. There's definitely, I feel like colors are I mean, some of it's just the luck of the draw, but I think that these are going to be really, really beautiful. All right. Before we get started again, I am going to take a brief, I'm going to send you guys on a brief commercial break. And thank you for hanging out during that. This is one of the ways that I support all of the stuff. And oh dear, I don't even see the preview right now, so I don't know when to insert it. That is, I'm like, wait, good. I've got the little live symbol on. Oh, it's looking jerky. Okay. Inserting the ad. Ad insertion is successful. Moving the laptop so I can get some snack. Yes, I'm sitting next to my refrigerator. In case you were wondering. Oh dear, why is it? Oh no. Okay, on my end the camera looks good. On your end it's looking jerky. Is the quality bad? It says it's good. What's going on? I'm gonna make my quality like low. There we go. Close that. Close that. I'll share some pictures on social media when everything's done. Like a picture of the board and a picture of the yarn that we dyed. Oh man. I'm getting old, friends. I'm getting real old. At the end of the live stream, I'll recap. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. And this time we're reusing some of the dye water from some other colors. And because we are reusing that, technically the vinegar concentration will be a tiny bit lower, but I think it's worth it to reuse water. Oh dear. Did it freeze? Oh, Tangled Cat, thank you so much for the super chat. Woohoo, woohoo, thank you, thank you. No, I hadn't seen it until I came to the computer because I was away. That's why, I'm sorry it took me a minute to do the woohoo for that super chat. Thank you so much. Does Knitpicks have an MCN base? I think there's Bear Capretta, which is now, so the Bear yarn used to be just merino, cashmere, nylon, but I now think that they just switched Capretta. I don't think they've switched the Bear yarn yet, but the colored Capretta line is now superwash, I think. I forget if it's the Capretta or the Capra. They basically didn't make it disappear. They relaunched it with new colors, which is cool. Woohoo! Spinning wheel. All right. I need gloves. I need gloves and I should put the gloves on before I get my hands wet. Okay. Whew, glad I had that cheese stick. Oh, I need to check on. So I like wearing the gloves. In general, I don't like wearing gloves, but I like wearing gloves when I mix these colors. We are getting family photos taken tomorrow, and I want to make sure I look good. Okay, that has cleared. I'm going to go ahead and leave it in just because. Oh, I should bring these out first. So that way, oh, that's where it is. I'm going to wring these out first, and then I don't accidentally get some dye on here. I'm pre-soaking all the yarn in just plain tap water. if you guys are curious about that. I do like to, so sometimes, okay, no, don't get stuck. Some people like to pre-soak with vinegar as well, but as I talked about a bit earlier in the stream, I'm starting with a really low vinegar concentration. All the pots started off with 8 cups of water and 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And that allows us to exaggerate the breaking because then we see a real difference in the absorption rate. Oh dear, where do you go? Oh no, oh no. You see a real difference in the color absorption rate between the different colors. Whereas if the vinegar is too high, all of the colors will start striking right away and you can get a really lovely tonal gradient. It's just not going to be the same as it could have been. All right. Okay. So, good. It's always good when I can see my camera come on. Okay, so for number 7, we've got 14 crimson and then 12 orange. 1, 2, 14 crimson. What? I almost pulled the yellow. Then 12 orange. And that is it. This is a pretty simple mixture. This is actually looking very, very red. So the base red does have a fair amount of yellow in it. And so therefore, we'll see what it looks like yet, but I'm seeing a lot of red. I do have a video where I tried mixing yellow, not orange, but yellow with red number 3 or red number 40 to see if we got something that broke, and it was hard to tell. All right. Oh no. Stay with me, yarn or cup or whatever kind of implement it is. Sorry for the clank. And now, oh, that is looking very orange. But not a pumpkin orange, like a, ooh, there's some red in there. This is feeling similar, but I think less concentrated than the one we had in this position earlier. Very lovely. Where are my tongs? Here they are. Don't underestimate the value of a good pair of tongs. Now, the wool of the Andes base can be a little bit slower for the color breaking, and it can end up requiring more acid to get blues and sometimes yellows to bind. But this is looking like fairly subtle, and I'm going to go ahead and add the tip because I am struggling a bit. But I do think that we've got something that goes from more red to more orange. So I'm excited to see that one at the very end. Well, I'm excited to see all of these at the very end, but and I'm saving all of these like colors, the left in a cup. Oh, darn it! It's too hot in here. My thing auto turned on again. I'm sorry, guys. My oops. Sorry. I hope I didn't frighten any of you too badly. It should stop in a couple minutes. Okay, counting rows. Okay. While that's going on, I'm going to rinse the tongs and take out the stack yarn. I feel like I'm being drowned out anyway. Oh. The one I'm picking up now is number 6, which was a mixture of crimson and blue. And there is a hint of blue left, but it is beautiful. This is like a true like crayon blue. And the other side almost feels navy. Can't really tell. But it is stunning. Stunning. I'm really going to need to play with more crimson in the future. It's not too hot. There is barely any color left in there, but I am going to dump it. And I'm also going to add some of this water. It's not that hot. Now, I'm also going to do a little bit of shuffling. Okay, so this front is on low, back. Now, low. Ground is on. Okay. Let's see if the fan will turn off yet. Nope. So, oh, I guess you guys can't. Sorry if I got too loud. Oh, my stuff telling me I'm doing too much cooking in the kitchen. I'm sort of like waiting for it to calm down a little bit so I can do those last two colors. Nope. Alright, well, sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mix. We're going to mix number 8, which is going to be 9 drops of black. Ten drops of black, 10 drops of blue. And 12 drops of pink. This, my friends, is almost like mixing Wilton's violet and black. But I will say that the difference between the pink, the difference between the pink and the, like the base red, the base red is so viscous, and when you add it into a cup, you see it like drop like lead to the bottom, and the pink is very liquidy in comparison. So, this might be that like blurpily as some of those others have been so far. It's looking very navy right now, but actually, it's almost like chromy because as I like shift it, I'm seeing different colors. That is cool. And I can turn the heat back up on this guy, but I think that I'm seeing movement, so I'm thinking that is pretty good. So 8 is also a Wool of the Andes base, which is a non 100% Peruvian highland wool. It's not superwash, so it absorbs color but slower, which is good for when we want to see color breaking. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys can hear me just fine. All right, let's see. And I'm mixing all of these colors in half a cup. Sorry about the metal on metal. I'm mixing all the colors in half a cup of water. So this time, like, you'll notice that when it goes in and comes out, it looks purple. But then the longer it stays out, you kind of see the blues almost drip down, and you see more of that fluorescent-y pink. And that is because, oh no, where are my tongs? That is because the blues do need more acid to bind onto this yarn. But we are, yeah, approaching some of these nice blues already. I wonder if the addition of the black is going to make it like moodier overall. That is some blue left. There are also yellows. Okay. But yeah, this is like very much of all of them like a broken violet, but with a twist. It's less bright. It's like deeper and moodier. And beautiful. Just so beautiful. Okay. And let's check on, rinsing off the spoon. Let's check on this one in back. There's still a lot of color in there. I know I'm going to need to add more vinegar here, and I know I'm going to need to add more vinegar there. But I'm going to, I guess for those guys, let me go ahead and set a timer. Set a timer for 5 minutes to just give it some time before I spike it. All right, and then our last one. And we've got black. We're basically mixing black and gray. But I guess 2 brands. Oh, I need to rinse out this cup first. So the residual, like collecting all this dye. I don't know if I'm going to use it during this live stream or if I'll use it later on, because I don't think it's that concentrated yet. But I think I'll use it for something at some point. But I don't know. I'm personally a fan of really saturated colors. So, okay. I do want to up that heat. I've got the black, 12 drops of black, 18 drops of stone. And links to all the food coloring and Knit Picks Bare Yarns all in the video description. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. So this color does have some of that titanium dioxide in it. These ones skew a little green. 18. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. Haha, you can see some of that milkiness from the stone. Oh, funny. It's definitely got like a green, leaning a bit green. I do want the pot to heat up a little bit more. Oh, my hands are sweating. I'm going to come sit down for a minute while we wait for that to heat up. Oh, this is great. I don't know. Of course, the thing that will be done off camera is when I have to go and wash all the yarn. But that shouldn't be so bad. But then I will definitely film a recap so you guys can see what the finished dry yarn looks like. And hopefully things are taking, there's a lot of drying yarn in the house right now, but I would say early, what is it, Friday? Sometime mid to late next week is when I should be shipping these. Oh dear. You were ready for the thing to come on this time. That's so funny. Paint is amazing. Looks like denim. Hi, and so thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy my tutorials. Yeah, I think we've got like a lot of international friends tuning in, and that's awesome. I guess what's the other announcement thing. So if you enjoy my tutorials, and I know it's hard for people who live internationally because shipping can be expensive, but I do have a listing in the ChemKnits Creations Etsy store that's about to go poof when the live stream ends. And that is I just dropped the link in the chat, it is the Mystery Surprise Yarn. And this one isn't the pre-order from the live stream, but it covers a mystery surprise from yarn that has been dyed in past and future ChemKnits tutorials dyeing videos. Now, if you are in love with a skein, like this one that I dyed recently in a video, you can go and buy it directly because there's a lot of stuff in the shop. But with the Mystery Surprise yarn, sometimes some of the stuff hasn't been added in the shop yet. It could be in the shop already, but for a very limited time, because in the next like 30 minutes to an hour or whenever I stop, that listing's going away. So right now it includes free shipping within the continental US, and I've discounted my international rates as well. So that is there. I wish that I could offer free international shipping, but if I were to do that, then I would be taking a loss on the materials, unfortunately. But I appreciate and I've got some packages that do go international, and I appreciate all of you very, very much. So that is the plug for the Etsy shop. And the other benefit that you do when you buy yarn from my Etsy store is you help me make space to buy more bare yarn. Because let's be honest, I think the shop started off as like 2 or 3 tubs, and it's now definitely in 4. Keeps expanding. Okay, yeah, we still got a lot of color in there, and I can see around the ring the massive amount of color in there. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and add, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of vinegar to each one. Okay, so that's how you know that the vinegar was needed. I'm not sure if you saw that, but when I poured the vinegar on there, the blue came out. With the low acid concentration, the blues were not yet binding. They have just been sitting in the pot. So that's why I am like gently poking things to give the dye access to stuff. But hopefully now with a higher vinegar concentration, it will start binding. And as for the orange in the back, I don't know if it's the same situation. Whoops, not so much, but sometimes if things aren't absorbing quickly, adding color helps. I mean, there's a lot of color in this yarn already, but adding a little more acid can definitely help. This is beautiful. I love really deep saturated colors. I think, yeah, we've definitely got this, like, I think of all the things, and I guess it sort of makes sense that we've got like the black blues. We've got a couple of sort of purples. Almost 5. Oh, there's the crimson and black. And then we've got a bunch of reds. But I knew that this kit would definitely lean a bit red just because that is the nature of what's in the kit. I mean, of this package of 8 colors, 5 of them have red in there. So that's just the way that it's bound to happen. And then I need to make sure I can see the chat. Yes, internationals are awesome. Okay, I need to get the yarn. So I'm rather excited for this one, even though it's basically mixed black and gray. So this is number 9, and I will recover the proportions again in a moment. That is looking very gray right now. I'm not expecting it to look as gray on the yarn. This is the Knit Picks Hawthorne base. But this was a mixture of 12 drops of the Wilton Color White Black and then 18 drops of the Americolor Stone. And right now I am seeing those likely red number 40s. Both of these mixtures have a combination of all of the colors. So we've got red 40, red number 3, we've got some yellows, and we've got the blue number 1. And so the question to me, there's still some reds in there. I probably went a little fast. The blues don't really seem to be sticking quite yet, but it's hard to know because of that the milky color from that titanium dioxide, which will not dye the yarn, but does make things look, it does just rinse out. It does make things look a little more like chowder, is what I think someone said earlier. All right, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. I'm going to reduce the heat in that one. The 3 pots are still heating, but very much on the low. That is a lot of blue. We might end up needing to add even more vinegar or maybe even just some water to that pot. That is a ton of color. Which actually, that number 8, it had 31 drops of food coloring, which is the highest of any that we have dyed so far. Yeah, this one is starting to clear. Are beautiful. This is like a blood orange type color. Okay. And I have a last cup to rinse out. I do reuse all of these cups, unless I melt them, because if you dip a plastic cup in boiling water, it will melt. I'm sure that doesn't sound like a novel piece of information, but maybe I was taken by surprise before. Okay, so the mixture of everything that we've done today is looking very much like what's in this pot. It looks like black. Not brown, and we've got all these purples and oranges that have mixed together. But I am seeing breaking to a blue that is very similar to the milky blue we see right there, with sort of like a purple down below. And I did get some color on my finger. That's okay. I don't think my fingertip is necessarily going to make a big feature in our family photo session. But I do actually have a color remover lotion thing that I might need to try out. I haven't tried it before. So, phew! I'm coming around. Sit down. Oh wait, I want to make myself small. First I'll make myself big, and then I'll make myself small. Here we go. So you guys can see the pots. I can say chowder. Yeah, I can. I am from Massachusetts. Yeah, I've lived here more than I've lived anywhere else, which I think is really, really cool. Yeah, the discount, thank you. I mean, so the disc, basically, like, there's a way that Etsy can calculate shipping. And because I do offer shipping to so many countries, and there is a lot of variability from, say, Canada to Europe and Australia, there can be some subtle differences. And then normally there's, with my normal international rates, there's some add-on to cover the insurance. I always put insurance on my packages, and the fees that Etsy charges me from for the shipping, because they charge sellers a processing fee on shipping costs. But so I basically removed that to try to but it's hard. I wish there was a way that I could do a coupon that was like, hey, if you're international, here's $5 off. But I don't think there's a way for me to set that up. Which is a bit of a bummer. Have I tried the bear hair yarn from Knit Picks, and is the Angora easy to dye? I cannot answer that question at the moment because it would be a spoiler. But I can say, yes, and yes, it dyed really nicely. But I'm not going to tell you what type of dye I used or how I did it. I've only played with it once though. Oh yikes! Wait, is he still stuck? There's a lot of construction today, so Keith was stuck for a while, which is sad. I think Boston, no R's. Yeah. When my mom comes back to town, then her voice starts going more more Western Mass versus Boston, even though that's sort of like the way that her mom talked. No, yeah, the in Boston you park your car in Harvard Yard. I used to live in Harvard Yard. That was pretty nice. But I think that my inflections and accent tends to be more Midwestern. I lived out here till I was 3, then I lived in Indiana, then Michigan, and then I came back here for school. All right, so I do still see some color. Like the chalky color is like becoming less chalky. Ooh, that's pretty. But there is still definitely some color in there. I think I will add, okay, so you're hot now. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of vinegar. Just to help things along. And then, yeah, I mean, this is looking a lot like pretty stereotypical broken black, which sort of makes sense. I mean, I'm definitely going to need to do, I don't think I'm going to do an entire broken black dye along, but I'm definitely going to try out the Americolor, and I might do that next to the Wiltons or something at some point. How are we doing? Still a ton of color. You might need a lot more vinegar. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now because I'm loving what I'm seeing in the pot, so I want it to soak it all up. But at some point, and this one had 31 drops, at some point there is a limit to how much color yarn can absorb. So it is absolutely, absolutely possible to overload your yarn to a point where like you're not going to absorb any more color. And the darker the color, and this doesn't just go for food coloring, this goes for any hand-dyed yarn, and even a lot of commercially dyed yarns as well. The more vibrant or the darker a color, the more likely it is you will get some bleeding when you soak or wash it. So if you're going to be dyeing, doing some color work with like red yarn and white yarn, do a little bleed test on a swatch before you go and soak the whole thing in water. Or consider using like a laundry color catcher sheet in there to help, because everyone knows like one red sock can turn your entire load of laundry pink kind of thing. Oh, this guy's almost clear. I'm going to turn off the heat on that rear friend, but I'm going to leave it in the pot because there's still a tiny bit more color. But woohoo, woohoo! We have dyed, because that's 4, I think that's 5, I think 6. Got like things all around. Wait, what? Oh no. Oh, I did this wrong. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're 6. Oh goodness, goodness me. Yeah, later today there will be a picture of all these arranged all prettily up on Instagram. And then on the Facebook page, and I'll share it to like the ChemKnits Lab Facebook group as well. Yeah. In Arizona, not as many fall colors. You found there's a limit when you hand painted your yarn with Kool-Aid yesterday? Yeah. With Kool-Aid, I do like to mix it in like very small cups of water, like a 1/4 cup of water in 3 packets. But with these color right colors, there are some that when washing I will experience more bleeding than say with Wilton. And that's because, you know, we've used what, like 25 to 30 drops of food coloring in all of these, and some of these colors are way dark and intense. And it's because that these colors are very, very concentrated. And if you start seeing some bleeding when you're washing your yarn, you can always pause and add a huge splash of vinegar. Is one way that you can try to see. Sometimes that will help a little bit. And then you could always re-microwave. But another thing that you can do is if you've got some stubborn bleeding going on, add an extra skein of superwash yarn to your rinse. It will, or a color catcher sheet, but the superwash yarn will act a little bit as a color catcher and help. It'll kind of soak up some of that extra dye that's coming off versus, and it can actually like, versus the dye staying in solution and sort of just like staying unbound in the yarn, and that can help. Because I think the one place where people run into danger when it comes to felting is when you're washing and you're like squeezing and you're doing a lot of agitation. What is the softest yarn that I've ever dyed? Maybe Andy and Treasure. It's 100% alpaca. It's very soft, very, very soft. A 1/2 cup of water with 2 packets of Kool-Aid should be fine. I've done that kind of proportion a lot. Whew. You guys, this is awesome. Definitely, we have not hit the record for the longest stream. I think my record might be like 4 some hours, but we're approaching that. Yeah, yes, I will soon have to like start breaking things down and washing. Maybe that'll happen in the evening. I still haven't unwrapped the sock blank I dyed last night in the live stream because I ran straight into prep for today. But I love my chalkboard. I like being able to show things visually. I could just use a notebook, but I think that it's fun to be able to kind of put things up on the chalkboard as things go along. And our milky friend is starting to clear. You can see it's turning white. Oh man, I think that you guys are awesome. Oh, you had to go back and add more vinegar. Oh, I don't even usually need to add vinegar to my Kool-Aid. But I wonder if your Kool-Aid is different from my Kool-Aid. I know that Canada sometimes has some different stuff in there. Whew. Man, guys, this is awesome, but it is fun. It was 4.5 hours. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I like to tease Keith because Keith's the professor, and so I'm like, well, you know, you lecture for 2 hours, but I'm lecturing for like 3 to 4. And then I can't film any standalone episodes right now because my memory cards are all full. And I have a policy where I don't delete videos off of my memory cards until I've edited the video and uploaded it and scheduled it on YouTube, because I don't want, like if I have a hard drive failure or something, I don't want to lose any of the content. But with the Hanukkah special, I've got some time-lapse stuff. I've got like a lot of raw footage, and I think I might have to like have say like Rebecca, no dyeing next week, no dyeing yarn next week. You need to edit, and I need to just like put on the headphones and edit. I mean, I only really wear the headphones if my like mother-in-law or someone is here playing with the kids, but Blue Lobster chowder. Yeah, if the stove weren't so hot, I'm like, no, it would be hard for me to move the camera. Yes, the things that I'm going to investigate for the end of the year is like ChemKnits birthday presents to myself is another webcam, because I think I need a second one, because then I can swap from the stove to the counter a lot more, and maybe that like 50 shades of food coloring. I wish that, so one of the things, like I really like playing with commercial acid dyes. I really, really like it. And it's a huge part, and thanks to the Kickstarter, that I was able to invest in dedicated dye equipment, so that way I could really go full force and explore non-food safe dyes. But I love playing with powdered dyes as well. I do wish that they came as liquid, as like a premixed dye stock. That would just be so much easier. It is so convenient to have a little dropper and just do the drops versus having to like mix it and whatnot. I need more memory cards. Where do I get my stencil at? Oh, I did buy more memory cards. I think they should arrive tomorrow. I ordered some just on Amazon, and so, wait, what stencil? You mean the DNA stencil that I used in the Soft Blank Special? That actually was sent to me by a viewer. We were chatting about, like, maybe in a live stream or a prep, and like, yeah, she is someone that has like a die cut, a system to make it, and so she made me some DNA stencils. But I think that that's the stencils that I have. How much of your time is spent editing my videos? Well, so I guess the video lengths range between like 15 minutes, and sometimes I try to keep things like under half an hour. Sometimes they don't, and I decide to share more content versus less. But it really depends. Some videos take maybe like, I don't know if it takes 2x as long to edit as the time. It definitely takes longer. Like if an episode is 40 minutes long, it takes way more than 40 minutes for me to edit it, because I have to watch all of the footage and cut things out. In general, I don't cut out a lot. I try to cut out barking and stuff from the dog as much as I can, but in general, I try to leave things as real as possible. But sometimes I talk a lot, and so then I'm like, nope, I do not have to put everything that I say into the video. I can leave some of my like annotation out. Yeah, it's just, I need more of like the time to like sit and focus to do the editing, and it's harder to do with like the kids around. The biggest time sink in terms of editing is exporting the video files after. So it can take a couple hours for a video to come out to like export. So there's like a balance in there, and I really like could use a new computer, and there's like a whole other, like, it would be nice to have a desktop, but right now I can't really work on a different floor if the kids are home, so there's all this like, yeah, behind the scenes stuff. But maybe if there is interest with the patrons, I might do a editing behind the scenes type video. I'm not sure if my computer could handle the like screen sharing that into a live stream as I'm doing it, but we could try. You love the random annotations. I mean, I do try to keep them in sometimes because sometimes there's something really useful. But I do know, and I really need to go through and do some like, hey, very much like beginner, like dyeing with food coloring 101 and 102 or something. That would be, I think, helpful because in my early videos, I made sure to say like, hey, when you're going to dye yarn with food coloring, you need a protein-based yarn, you need some acid source, you need heat, and then you need the food coloring, and combine those together and you get pretty colors. But that's something that I don't necessarily reiterate as much. And then I get a lot of questions if this will work on acrylic or if this will work on cotton. And I do have some FAQ type videos to help address that, but I think that it's helpful to remind people once in a while. What webcam do I use? It's some Logitech. Oh wait, does it say over here? Let me see. Oh no, are you not going to tell me what you are? No, it's not telling me. It's like a Logitech something. It's fine. I'm not a huge fan of, and it could be the software. I use OBS to stream. I wish that I had to, like, the colors don't always come true, and that kind of irritates me. There's not, you can edit the white balance a bit, but still I have trouble getting the reds and purples, which are hard on any camera to get to read, but it is not, I like it fine. I don't, so that's why I'm not sure if I'm going to get, when I get a new one, if I want to get the same one, if I want to get a higher quality one. Like there's a limit to what my internet can handle, I suppose. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to remember when I first, like for a long time, I didn't show my face on anything. I guess maybe when I first started testing streaming, that could have been, and I did a couple unboxings, that could have been the first time I actually showed my face, at least on, in a video. In the, like on the blog, I'd had my face a lot of times, like wearing hats and stuff. So for a long time. I have not tried soy yarn yet. I would love to. And I don't know if soy yarn is a protein-based one or not. I'm actually not entirely sure. I did reach out to like a small indie business about like seeing about getting some bare yarns. I think they had a soy-based and a milk protein-based yarn. The problem is that they said that they are pretty tricky to dye. So they may not work like wool. Oh, you love when I dye yarn with the ChemKnits? Yeah, I'm hoping that Ryder will start to get a little more into it. But he's like, "Ooh, mommy, you have yarn?" I'm like, "Yes, this is my yarn." And Lucas is like, "Oh, that's beautiful yarn, mommy." And sometimes I include Lucas based on necessity because I went to film and he's here. He's actually there a lot of times when I'm watching the yarn and videos because usually I'll do that when Keith is putting Ryder to bed. But Lucas genuinely enjoys it, and he's a natural. Like he can like vamp, he can fill airtime. Like the kid, I have a feeling he'll ask for his own YouTube channel at some point, and I'm not going to be able to say no because I mean, it's like no, you should not be putting yourself out there on YouTube. Like that's what I do. That's my job. Well, so soy yarn, there's a lot of protein in soybeans, so I'm not sure if what it is that they are getting a fiber out of, whether it's like a cellulose-based fiber or if they're doing something with the protein. So it's hard to know. I think my reason for not showing my face in early tutorials is that if I had my face and my body in it, you can't really see what's going on in the pot, or you can't see what I'm doing with the knitting needles. And so in theory I could do like picture-in-picture or voiceover, but that would start to take more editing time than what I have the capability to do. So I'm so glad that you guys like it when he's involved. Trying to think, yeah, I don't know if I have any in the queue where he's involved, but yeah, and I think next week is going to be editing, and I'm going to be winding like a couple hundred mini skeins. It's going to feel like for the Hanukkah samplers to start packing those. I'm very excited. ChemKit tutorials. Yep, there's a whole ChemKids playlist. And yeah, they really like it. And Lucas is so proud because his winter hat is yarn that he dyed, and he is just really, really proud. And another yarn that he dyed, we gave to like a teacher at his school who was on sick leave for a while and needed some stuff to keep busy. So it was kind of fun to be like, hey, well, he's not in your class, but a student that you love made this for you. And so that was really fun. You've used a card on soy yarn and it dyed, but it's basically pastel, and they ran like mad. Yeah. So it's possible that something like a fiber reactive dye might be better, but it's hard to know until testing it. And sometimes with the more expensive like yarns, I get nervous about just throwing them down and testing with them. Okay, I'm gonna go check my pots. As much as I love just sitting here and chatting, I really do. What's funny, and someone was like, oh, describe, like, when there's like a describe your job in like a funny sentence, I'm like, I stand in a room by myself and I talk to myself all day long. I mean, it is what I do. Okay, I'm gonna pop you in there so then I can use this bowl. We'll come check on our friends. Did I make my face go away? Please. I did. And you guys know what? I have managed to not spill water on my computer yet while streaming. I mean, I definitely spilled water. Woohoo, we're clear. Ish. There's a hint of like orange in the pot. So this yarn, I'm not sure how much of a gradient. I would say there's definitely some tonal to it, but it's sort of almost reading very solid. I'm going to be curious about when when it's cool enough that I can twist it up, what that's going to look like. Oh goodness, when Keith gets home, he's going to be like, what? On big dye days, like the kitchen island gets covered in dye equipment, and he's he's very, very supportive of all this. But sometimes he's like, so do you want me to do dishes? Basically, I do ChemKnits dishes, but I also like cook, and so he does like family dishes. Okay, this is clearing. There's still some color in there. This one is number 8. I am going to turn off the heat and let this cool off in the pot so we can absorb some blues. This is the one that was 9 drops of black, 10 drops of blue, and 12 drops of pink. And then here is our ash and black one. And there's also a tiny bit of blue left in there. So I think with this one as well, I am going to turn off the heat. Turn off the heat, let that cool off or cool down in the pot, so maybe we absorb a little more color. Maybe I added more vinegar to that one at some point. It's hard to remember. But now, I can't even see the chat. Guys, I also didn't hit my head on the island when I was basically sitting beneath it. This is a big deal. Speckling on top would be awesome. How am I going to be dealing with the dye-along leftovers from last night? I have not decided. I think I will. Can I do this? Okay, this is my dye-along yarn from last night. There's a lot of plastic wrap. This is now, I don't want to get it like on the stove. Sorry guys for going off camera, but the stuff is sticking. But, ooh. We'll see if, ooh, there's like, oh, that's the darkest green. It's like, what's blue? Da-da-da-da. Let's see if it all actually seems to have been absorbed pretty well. Come on. Stupid plastic wrap. I would love to find a nice, alternative to plastic wrap for hand painting yarn when you don't want the different colors to run together. But unfortunately, at this point, I have not found anything. But let me see if I can get this without like stretching it too much. Da-da-da, da-da. It looks very, very similar to the way it did last night because the colors that we're gonna spread sort of did that already. So I think that it is, what? Oh, because I popped that in there. I had like a rogue pan that I didn't know where it came from. So that is very, very pretty. But I do have a lot of color left over from last night's live stream. So I haven't decided if I'm going to use that on a skein of yarn or if I want to do another blank. But there have been some requests for me to add this from that die-along tree to add some blues into it. So I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do yet. Oh, I'll jinx the computer. Yes, I need to teach Elle to knit. He is not quite dexterous enough to figure it out yet, but I might let him start trying to play with one of the crank knitting machines. And I wonder what was on this magnet. Okay, that's a random aside. Becca, binging is awesome. Oh, thank you. You're teaching your grandbabies to knit. That's awesome. Your son plays ChemKnits? Oh, that is the cutest thing. Yeah, last night's result was like really, really wonderful. Okay. All right. I've said what I'm doing with those two guys. And before I sit down for some conclusions, let's sort of go back through our friends from today. And of course, these are not arranged in any kind of pretty way yet, but this was number 1. This was 9 drops of crimson, 1 of ash, 3 black, and 12 blue. On the Swish DK base. Yes. Number 2 was Wool of the Andes, and we've got sort of a burnt orange through a red. And this was 19 drops of red, 3 brown, and 4 yellow. And the base red does have yellow and orange in it. Okay, so number 3 is the Stroll fingering weight base. And this one was 1 drop of gunmetal, 17 black, 10 brown. And there's some red down here. It's like maybe a very reddish brown, but it's almost a little purple too. So that's a little hard to know exactly, but it's beautiful. Okay, so that's 3. And 4, so pull up my leggings. 4, I used Felici Worsted. And we've got this sort of this like dusty rose pink from a mixture of 18 drops of ash, 4 red, and 3 orange. And I think of all of them, this is the least bright and maybe the least saturated. Okay, so 5 is Swish DK, and this is a very saturated color. This was 11 drops of crimson and 18 drops of black. So it's almost like we have like a glaze over our broken black with a little bit more red. But it's very dark. And then we've got, whoa dear, sorry guys. Number 6 was 11 drops of crimson, 15 drops of blue. And you don't really see the red a lot, but there's a lot of blue. I'll need to wait till it dries to know if that's like a purple or almost feels navy. But it's very saturated. So that was 6. 7, which does look fairly different from 2. But 7, this is almost a semi-solid, like orange, red-orange color. It was 14 drops crimson, 12 drops orange. And then number 8 was over here. This was 9 drops black, 10 drops blue, 12 drops pink, and is like, ooh, it's like you turned down the volume on Broken Violet, and that is so close to clear. But we've got purples to blue, and is, whew. And then finally, on the Hawthorn base, we've got 12 drops of black and 18 drops of stone. And so all of the grays came from the Americolor Nifty Shades of Gray kit. Whereas everything else we used was the Wilton Colorite Color Performance System, which, and we used Knit Fair yarns, and affiliate links to all this jazz is all in the video description. But yeah, that's like a little summary of what we did today. And this was awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. And helping me celebrate a year of Dyepot Weekly. I don't know if we're going to celebrate Dyepot Weekly's birthday every year, but it might be a little easier for me to celebrate Dyepot Weekly's birthday than to celebrate ChemKnits' birthday, because that's right before New Year's, and that's hard. The last one looks like spaghetti. Yes, the milky one, it's because there's titanium dioxide in those gray food colorings, and so it makes the water look very milky. Yeah, I hope that I did not miss any questions. If I did, you can always PM me on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way to get in contact with me in a way that I can like see quickly and easily. Other ways, like I don't notice DMs on Instagram, or I mean, I barely ever check Twitter, but you can find a lot of my social media handles and like the different places you can find me also in the video description. So a link to the ChemKnits Creations Etsy store. And oh yeah, it's the final call for the mystery surprise yarn hand dyed in a ChemKnits tutorials YouTube video. That, as soon as the stream ends, I'm gonna go, okay, well, maybe I'll eat a little bit of lunch first, but then that is going to go poof. And that will be gone until a later time. It won't be a whole year before that one's away, but sort of like if you like a surprise and a little bit of a discount, that is a fun one. But otherwise, there are, you know, over 140 different skeins of hand-dyed yarn that have been featured in my past and upcoming videos. So, you know, you do not want to miss it, and I think that they are very, very pretty and fun. A huge thank you to everyone who pre-ordered yarn for today's live stream. That helps a lot. I greatly, greatly appreciate it, and I hope that you guys love what the like surprise colors ended up. And let me know in the comments on the replay what other types of like these mystery type things you would like me to do. It was really fun using dice. It kind of like removes some of the things that I have to try out of my head. I think in general, using the icing, like this was easier for me to mix on the fly because it was liquid colors. The gel colors, I think, was a little more, there was a little more like, ooh, is that going to be brown? Or, oh, that's a cool color kind of thing. But some of these results were still pretty surprising based on the different levels of intensity of, say, black versus yellow or pink kind of stuff. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed this. This was really, really fun, and I hope the chalkboard makes some more appearances and live streams in the future. This weekend, I don't have any other live streams planned. I've basically had a live stream every night, whether it was like a Patreon behind the scenes or then the dialogue last night, but there might be an unboxing. I have a knit picks order, and then around Halloween, and I don't know for sure if it, I doubt it will not be on Halloween. Halloween itself will be really busy. Maybe like right before Halloween, but there will be an undying live stream. That's all I'll say for now. But I thought that that was a fun theme for Halloween. I'm still laughing about it. But that hasn't been scheduled yet. And otherwise, I think everything else has been scheduled. Yeah, if you love my videos or like them a little bit, please subscribe to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel. I think that of all the different ways I've talked about, ways that you can support ChemKnits, you know, through the shop, through Patreon, through, you know, buying things that I recommend, subscribing, liking videos, commenting on videos is the biggest way that you can help Dyepot Weekly and ChemKnits grow. And so I, of course, tuning in and watching, that's a very big way to help. And I so greatly appreciate it. And you guys really, really are the coolest group of fans ever. What's funny is that there's so many of your names that I recognize, but then some of you have different names here on YouTube versus, say, Instagram or Facebook. So sometimes, like, it takes a little bit for I'm like, oh wait, that person is also that person. So I may not always make that connection right away, but I want you to know that I do, like, there's some questions I get a lot, but there really aren't any stupid questions because my job and the role is like as that of a teacher. And so some people might have been following me and have watched all the hundreds of videos I've created. And then some other people might have just found me more recently and therefore had some questions. And so I am always happy to answer and just help the best way that I can. But I suppose there's a few things I can't do. Like I cannot make knit samples, swatches to put in every video. I can't do that. But otherwise I try to accommodate requests. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so glad so many of you were able to join. And all right, I'm gonna go have some lunch and then look at my kitchen and think, okay, I have to go start washing yarn. I had to make space in my drying rack. My drying racks, I have a drying rack in a tub, so then it can catch drips, and then things move from there to another drying rack in another room. So there's a lot drying right now, but that means that there's a lot of content coming up, so stay tuned. Oh, thank you. Oh, a conversation and a purchase. Thank you. Oh, cool. Yeah, that should be doable. Thank you. All right, I am gonna go, and you know who you are that messaged me. I will be replying to you before I go eat lunch. So, thank you guys. Thank you so much. And oh, funny, I'm not seeing I never know if when I press end, it like plays through the rest of what I've streamed in my time or not, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later. And just so I know when to try pressing stop, make my face go away. I use that as a cue, which I know is really, really silly. And this is why I do like a double goodbye. Oh, goodness. Thank you guys for watching.